What's up, everybody? I'm Metal Nick.
I am Jeff Grindstoffer.
And welcome to a bonus episode of Vinyl Bang. This is Record Store Day 2024 and 420, might I add. And Jeff and I both got up early or one of us got up early to go get some fresh records. So we decided to do a bonus episode, and we're going to share it early because these are some cool fucking records we got today, bud.
Dude, I'm excited for you to see what I found. I'm really like, I mean, I was beside myself. Like whenever I got to Hit Records in Columbia, which love Hit Records in Columbia. Shout out to Hit Records, love those guys. Whenever I was in line to pay for my stuff, I turned around and I was like, oh my God, like it was an awesome record store find. And it wasn't a record store day release, but it was just like, could not pass it up.
Cool.
So
I didn't want to waste time. I almost wanted to go through the bins at this store, but I really just, got what I got. And I hit up for the Record Exchange in Frederick, Maryland. So shout out to those guys. I even called ahead of time to see if they were going to have what I was looking for. And he said he did. And they usually the day before Record Store Day, they post a sheet of paper of like their inventory, and they did. And when I saw it, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh man. So I went and saw Pig Destroyer last night, and I left as early as I could and got home and went to bed. And my alarm went off at 5:30, and I contemplated getting breakfast before I went there, but I didn't. I pulled up, and the guy told me that people will start lining up at 7 a.m. I got there around 6:10, and I was number 17 in line. And I was also under the impression that the doors were going to open at 9. They opened up at 10. So I was getting more and more hungry and anxious to get in there and find the two records that I was looking for. And by the time I was next in line, I get a phone call from my buddy over here, and he's, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just waking up right now. I get it. This man works hard as hell. He works very hard, and he deserves some sleep. So I understood that, but I'm happy you got what you got. And then Jeff, do you want to start off with what you found, or?
Yeah, well, okay. First off, to start off with the reason why I slept in yesterday, worked 12 hours, got up at 3 in the morning, worked a 12-hour shift, and then after I got off at 6:30, I drove 3 hours round trip to St. Louis for a show, and didn't get home until 2 o'clock this morning, and blah 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 blah. But not Record Store Day release, but I went to St. Louis to see Better Lovers, and I bought a vinyl from Better Lovers. So I'm going to go ahead and share that if that's okay.
Yeah, let's see what that looks like.
So Better Lovers released God Made Me an Animal last year on vinyl, I believe. And for this tour, they did a bonus pressing with 2 extra tracks on it. They did a pressing of 1,000, 500 they took on tour, and 500 are available in their store. I bought, I believe, the next to last copy because whenever I pointed to the record on the table, the guy reached behind him and pulled one out of a box. And then my buddy Joe Atkinson was right behind me in line, and he pointed to the one on the table, and the guy handed him the one on the table. So I'm pretty sure that these are now gone on tour. I'm pretty sure these are no longer available. These are of just, as I said, a repress of God Made Me an Animal, which has a different cover than the original pressings. But these are limited to 1,000, numbered out of 1,000. This one is, I don't know if you can really, I can't tell if you can see that or not. It's like 820.
Okay.
820 of 1,000. This pressing has the original 4 songs: Sacrificial, Participant, 30 Under 13, Become So Small, and God Made Me an Animal. And it has 2 of the newer songs that they've released, 2 Alive, Amongst the Dead, and The Flowering. So this is my 3rd copy of this EP, but it's the first copy that I have with the 2 extra bonus tracks, which is pretty cool. The pressing, and I'm going to open it live on camera. I have not opened this yet. This is a half white, half gold, gold and black splatter. Maybe I'll open it. It's being difficult. But these look pretty cool online. Pictures online. Of course, it's so frustrating trying to do this under pressure. Pretty cool little jacket. It's got a little cutout in the front. This is a
half and half.
Half and half.
That looks great.
Solid pressing. Absolutely solid pressing. I am stoked on this band. Whenever I found out that Greg was doing another hardcore project outside of his solo stuff, I immediately jumped on it just because I'm such a fan of his work with the Dillinger Escape Plan, and I wanted to hear him in a more hardcore environment, and it absolutely delivers. I absolutely love this band. Saw them for the first time last night, and they were phenomenal. It was a great show.
That's killer.
Yeah. Very, very, very happy
Greg's
about
a very
that.
entertaining frontman for sure, and
Absolutely.
I believe it's like Jordan from Every Time I Die.
I believe it's the rest of the band. Every Time I Die.
I don't think Andy is in it. I know Jordan and maybe the bass player and drummer.
Probably.
I could be wrong. I'm not. I don't really follow that band, but that's some good stuff. All right. Well, then look. How about I will kick it off with Jeff calling me as I'm standing there in line, and I had 2 records, and I know you got one of them, and so let me just go ahead and show, like, there were 17 people in front of me, and I wanted 2 records. The first thing I asked for was the South Park show that Jeff was at. I wish I could have gone to. This is what the cover looks like. They were numbered. I don't know how many out of mine is 1656.
Mm-hmm.
But I opened mine. I'll pull one of these out because these are actually very cool looking. I'll show you the layout too in a second here, but
that's the poster I have. That's the poster I got from the show.
Yeah, I
cool design, dude. Oh, those are pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. I kind of hoping that they're all different colors, but like still, like I was like, wow, like,
yeah,
I was very impressed with that. Here.
Yes, dude, that poster, man. I really wanted. They did at the show. They did an uncut version of that where it was all 3 panels, but then they did those separately. Where like it was the Ween guy, and then these are all fucking God. That is so sick.
And if I were to buy any of the posters, I probably would have bought this one.
Yeah, that is a cool poster. The red rocks and carbon at the top.
I mean, this is great. I wish I was there. I remember watching this episode air on Comedy Central and just laughing so hard at, like, when Matt and Trey came out and they started playing Uncle Fucker, and like I have very fond memories of this. Here, do you have yours?
I've got mine, but it's not opened.
No, go ahead and show your number. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah, I've got 1346.
Cool. I
hope. 1346.
Mine is pressed on Tally Blue Wax. What does yours label say?
Oh, they're all Tally Blue.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if the soundtrack that you got had, like, there was like
2 different variants.
Yeah. So
there was 2 different.
No,
variants.
but hold on, we're not. This rules. I wish I was there. This is one of my favorite cartoons. I got a South Park tattoo. Jeff and I are the title of our show is because of South Park. But
yeah,
this is great. This is a great thing. I'm very happy that I got this. I was relieved. Like I said, they had 4 of these and 3 of the other thing that I'm about to show you. That I am very, very stoked, extremely happy. I didn't care how expensive this was. I knew I just got paid yesterday, so I'm buying this. This is a band that I think I've talked about a couple times on our show, but this is a band that I think is probably one of the most underrated bands in the world. Black Breath. They put out a box set there were 500 units according to the sticker, but I think the record store day says otherwise. This is a compilation of all their albums. There's an EP, and 3 full lengths, and then a cassette. It's got this colored booklet in here with all these photos and flyers. On the back is a tribute to Eli, the bassist who passed away in 2019. There you go, Razor to Oblivion, Heavy Breathing, Sentence to Life, and their final album, Slaves Beyond Death. I don't know if you can see all these covers. Comes with a patch.
Cool.
And our pal Ross was talking about this song "Christmas in Hell," I believe, on his episode. But there it is. That's the demo tape, which I don't own, but now I do. I thought I had everything by this band. This is the hype sticker, record store day. Kept it in there, but yeah, this band, I love this band a lot. They were, like I think I've told the story. Like I was supposed to film them at Maryland Death Fest, and I did. And while filming them, I just fell in love with them, and I became not good friends, but I became friends with the bassist and the singer. Anytime they could, and I think in the previous episode I said the wrong name. The singer's name is Neil. I don't know what I called. I called him Nate. His name is Neil. Neil's the singer, and Eli was the bassist. And those two I hung out with a lot. I guess you could say we listened to some Cypress Hill quite a bit together. But the Black Breath box set, Southern Lord Records put this out. I'm very happy to have this. This band means a lot to me. This would have been a bad day if I did not score this. I would have probably waited outside and jumped somebody for this record because I really do care a lot about this band. I do. They mean a lot to me.
I know you do.
I know, Jeff, you got a lot of niche bands that are just like people don't care about, but they mean a lot to Jeff Grindstoffer.
Sure.
This is one of those bands for me. This really is like I love Black Breath to death. I really wish they were still a band because like I would still go see them a lot. They were one of those bands that I followed and cared a lot about, and I was happy to score that. Also, real quick, I don't know if your record store does posters, but
oh, that's awesome.
I'll zoom in real quick.
Yeah.
The record.
Yeah, that's really cool, dude. I mean, that's specific for the store, man. That's rad.
Yeah, and he had a bunch of he also had a bunch of stickers that they gave away. I grabbed like a Motley Crue and a Morbid Angel sticker, and there was like a cassette tape with like the Maryland flag in it. But I wish there was a vinyl with the Maryland flag in it. Clutch probably has something like that.
Probably.
But, yeah, pretty sweet day. I got what I was looking for. I know there's more stuff out there that like that intrigued me, but I don't need in my collection as much as I needed those two.
Sure. And dude, the whole reason why I was so upset this morning, like whenever I came home and overslept this morning, was because I wanted to help you find that because I knew they were so limited. I wanted to help you find that box set, and it was just like, shit, dude, I overslept. I'm so sorry, but you got it.
There's no way I would have missed out. Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I don't think anybody would have bought that Black Breath box set. I remember a couple years ago that Psy record came out, and I went hours later, and they still had one copy left, and I was just like, yeah, of course not. Nobody knows who they are around here.
Right.
Right. I'm sorry. I live in a weird part of Maryland. I feel like metal is like very niche out there.
Right.
It's not. But
it worked out well for you. I'm happy.
Yeah. Do you want me to go first, then you can share your stuff? My newest edition.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. I got one thing in the mail yesterday. This is a record that probably your parents and your grandparents own, but it's Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. It's a re-release. I think it's like the 50th anniversary release. Comes with this slipcase cover. I have to show you both of these. This is very cool stuff.
Oh wow, dude. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's almost like a picture disc.
That's what I thought too, but it's UV rayed in here is what it said.
Oh my God.
I should have saved that label. I don't know where I put it, but like, is it right here? No. Yeah, I think I lost it.
That is super cool.
And then let me show you the other disc.
I can't wait to see this. Oh, wow.
It's like all around the spine.
Yeah, dude, that is sick.
Any color you like. Yeah, I own like a standard black pressing of this. I believe that when I don't know how long ago they announced that they were that this I just saw this like on an ad one day on Instagram, and then I just rather than buying stuff from Instagram, I went on their website and bought that because you know, Pink Floyd. This is a good record. It's not my favorite Pink Floyd album, but it is a cool record, and it's just like a cool looking pressing. And they only had like a mock up of what it looked like, and I'm sure when they saw it, they were like, "I wish those those triangles could have been a little darker," but whatever. It's still cool. I don't know. I don't own anything like that.
No, I was gonna say that's very unique to have that lasered in or whatever. Like that's wow.
I can't get this cover back on.
I've seen the I've seen the pictures of that floating around with that cover, but like I didn't realize first off that was a slip cover. Pretty badass. But yeah, the vinyl themselves, man, with the lasered, like I'm tempted to get that.
It's cool looking. Yeah,
pretty rad.
I want to play it and see how it sounds too. But
yeah, I own one pressing of that. It's the original master recording. You know that the ones with the thing at the top says original master pressing or whatever. Like I have that pressing of Dark Side. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Very cool indeed.
All right. So.
All right. Now it's my show because I got a bunch of shit to talk about. First off, the South Park vinyl. I have to tell a story about this. This was my first time at Red Rocks. This was one of those performances that I had to go. It was a necessity. It was an absolute necessity. Getting tickets for this was no easy thing. It was an absolute challenge to get tickets for this. And whenever I got them, they were pricey, but worth it. Absolutely worth it. Melanie and I went to the first night of the 2 nights. We didn't do both nights. We only did the first night, but man, it was one of the top 5 shows of my life. It was so cool. Like the way that Primus and Ween played at the same time, like they didn't change sets, Ween started the show. And then they played a couple of songs, and then Primus came out and played. I believe they played "Here Come the Bastards" with Ween. It was so incredible. And then Matt and Trey, of course, they come out and did their songs as DVDA, and then they all 3 jammed together, and it was absolutely incredible. But my highlight of the show was Les playing the original version of the South Park theme song, and then bringing out the whamola and doing the version of the South Park theme song with Matt and Trey. And they told the story about how they Matt and Trey contacted Primus because they were such huge fans, and then you've all seen or I'm sure you've all seen the performance that's been on streaming and all that, but this show was just phenomenal.
Hey, before I forget, I didn't read what's the label it came out on, because I didn't say that and I didn't look it up either.
The Mercury.
Okay.
Universal? Yeah, Mercury Records. We're licensed to Mercury Studios Media Limited.
Maybe because there's a Rush
This
song.
Is a Universal subsidiary, I believe.
Okay, because Rush is part of Mercury, and because they covered a Rush song, maybe. Oh, maybe there's I don't know. But that's, yeah. I just would have put that out there because I didn't read. I know.
Sure. Sure. But yeah, this was the event itself was phenomenal. Whenever Melanie and I were in town, we met up with a buddy of mine, Chris Brown, who lives in Denver. Shout out to Chris. Don't talk about you very often because you don't collect records and you're not a metalhead, whatever. But you're my boy. I miss you a lot. Whenever we met up with Chris, he told me that we needed to go check out a town called Fairplay while we were in Colorado, because Fairplay is actually South Park. It is actually like Stark's Pond is there. They have a whole like theme that's all South Park oriented. Everything there is South Park. It's based what the show's based on. And while I was there, I bought this hat from Fairplay, Colorado. So little memorial, to the trip, wearing the hat. But I just, whenever people talk about this show, I was there. I was at this show, and it was so cool. Nick and I were talking whenever I was driving home, telling him that, we should do this bonus episode today for Record Store Day. I said, I want to hear my voice. I want to hear my, because I was there. It just, this album means so much to me. This means so much to me because it was just, again, such a phenomenal show. One of the greatest shows I've ever been to in my life. And I've been to a lot of concerts, but this was one of the greatest shows I've ever been to. And to have this on vinyl is just, it means a lot.
I bet. Yeah. It looks cool. I'm assuming just being there alone was probably an experience, but.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Again, it was just, it was incredible. Like they had the displays, you could see like artifacts from the show throughout the years. They had original scripts that you could, the actual scripts and the storyboards and just all kinds of shit. It was just for any South Park fan, it was just like, it was a glorious thing to see. And it was absolutely phenomenal. All right. So moving on from the Record Store Day South Park thing, whenever I was looking up to see all the information that Hit Records was doing for today, they did a collage of pictures of vinyl that they would be selling, new releases and such. And one of them was Veruca Salt, American Thighs. And I was just like, I had to have this album. Whenever I went to the store specifically, I got the South Park, and then I ran over to the new releases and grabbed this just right off the bat. I mean, this album is so good. Get Back, All Hail Me, Seether, Spider-Man 79, dude, so good. This album is phenomenal. Celebrate You, #1 live. It just this is one of the albums absolutely from my childhood. This came out in '94, so I was 13 or 14 at the time. And girls in a rock band when I was 13. I mean, come on. It didn't get any better than this. And this album is phenomenal. It has a lot of memories for me, and to have it on vinyl is absolutely awesome. I'm glad to finally have a copy of American Pie. Now,
hell yeah.
Now, this is the secret. This is a surprise for Nick and for me too, because I'm stoked to own this thing. Like I said, whenever I was in the store waiting at the counter to buy these records, I turned around just to see what was behind me, and they had their R&B section behind me. And of course, everything's in alphabetical, so it's A, B, C, D, all alphabetical. And there was a tag for the Beastie Boys. So I thought, okay, I'll just see what Beastie Boys stuff they have. And what did I find? A 1986 pressing of License to Ill.
Hell yeah, dude!
An original 1986 License to Ill. I mean, that Post-it note right here, I was like, holy shit, dude, a 1986. But that's not the killer. The price tag, $49.99.
Oh, wow.
I was like, dude, what? Like, why? What's wrong with it? And I whenever I sat on the counter, I looked at it and I pointed at it and I go, really? An OG for $49? He's like, yeah, there's a couple of cracks and pops and whatever, but it's a clean copy, and it is.
That's great.
Now we are OG Licensed to Ill buddies.
There you go. Yeah.
Now we're besties. And even like whenever I got home, I opened it up just to see, because one of your larger points about it was pointing out that it had the original Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is the record isn't in this. It's in I guess whoever owned it before put it in a standard.
What does the center label say? Is it ill or kill?
Licensed to ill on side 2.
Yeah.
Licensed to ill on side 1.
Some of them say kill.
Really?
Yeah. And the hardcore fans call that the Joan Rivers pressing, because they were on an episode of the Joan Rivers show promoting that album. And she kept calling it License to Kill. And then the audience kept correcting her. And she goes, what? And they said, License to Ill. And she goes, License to Ill. It's the stupidest name I've ever heard in my life. And they all started laughing. But yeah, like it's a clip of them on YouTube with her, and they're like joking around. They're actually like, they were told to be very nice to her. They're like sitting in her seat and just acting like total goofs, because this was like, 1986 Beastie Boys. But
sure, yeah.
Somehow, they were like in the factory, somebody accidentally pressed it as License to Kill instead of License to Ill.
Wow.
And so there's a series of them out there. I forgot how to identify them. There's a way to identify them by the spine. So I'll put that info out there at some point. But that's cool. That's very cool find, dude. I'm very happy for you.
Very cool find.
Great fucking record.
Absolutely. I finally own an OG Beastie Boys record, and what a great one to own. License to Ill. Like, the only other one I have is the I believe the clear pressing from Walmart.
Yeah.
Which, and it sounds good. I mean, it's definitely a good.
They've remastered it, and like, man, they've managed to make that record still sound good, even after remastering it all these years later. Like,
right,
you can't fuck that one up. That's a good record. They don't. Yeah. I don't think like Rick Rubin or Russell Simmons did any harm to it. No. They were happy with. They went on tour and they came back and they said it was way more punchier and bassier, and they were,
yeah.
They were just very impressed with what they did, but the way the logistics went down.
Bring you up on screen when you're talking about this.
Oh yeah, they just like I know like that album was just as far as the way the rest of their discography went, it didn't have that like bouncy punchy bass to it.
Sure.
And like most hip hop fans like that, and that's fine. But like they had a few songs on every record that had that, but. Yeah, that's a good record, man.
I was stoked to find it.
Copy, no matter what pressing it is, it still sounds great all these years later.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
And then I believe you got a couple mail.
Yeah, I got a couple while I was out record store day shopping, buying Primus and Veruca Salt and Beastie Boys. I had records delivered to my porch. So quite a day in the vinyl collection for the Grindstopher household. First off, and my daughter Sierra will be excited about this, because not only do I have a copy of this, but she has one coming to her as well. The new Taylor Swift album, woo! The Tortured Poets Department. All right, let's hear it for the new Taylor Swift. Let's bring Nick back up on camera. What's your reaction to this, Nick?
The Record Exchange that I went to, they were selling, they have mass copies of that, but when you buy it, it comes with like a personal note from her, like from the desk of Taylor Swift. And it's,
I saw that. Yeah. Some record stores had.
They also had some like white pressings of it, like some limited weird pressing of it that I was just like, But they only had like a few of them that they got in. I don't know, some indie store pressing maybe.
Yeah. Well, I like, whenever I was adding this to the Discogs collection, like I noticed there's like 9 different pressings of this album. And like, even whenever she was putting everything up for pre-order, it was like this pressing had a particular bonus track, and then a different pressing had another bonus track. And I think that's how she gets you.
That's what I was trying to explain to somebody the other day, that like she's not like 95% of her fans probably listen to her music digitally. So then there's like the hardcore Swifties that have to like own everything, and like, they'll buy one of every unit, a CD, a cassette, a vinyl, but that's a good way of doing it. Like, this album comes with this song, this version comes with that song.
No, so, it's clever for sure. I didn't get every pressing. I'm content with getting the one,
you were not a true Swiftie. Getting called out on camera. She will never be on the show now.
No, she will never be on. Damn it, Nick. All right, I'm going to go buy the other copies right now. I got to go. Okay.
Um,
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, Taylor. I still have the Honda Civic though, so maybe that'll eat it out.
right.
But anyway, yeah. Sierra, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, I'm going to call you, and you have a copy. There's 2 of these. One of them's mine. One of them's yours. So, new Taylor Swift. And the last package that I had sitting on my porch today came from Blast Beats Vinyl, and it contains 2 albums by a band, Cattle Decapitation. I got the European pressing of Monolith of Inhumanity, which is called The Promise of Heaven. I know I should turn my light on where you can see that. The Promise of Heaven. That looks a little better. This is limited to 500 pressings. And I think I'm going to open this because I want to see what this one looks like. And then the other one, the other pressing, the other album that I got is the Anthropocene Extinction. And this is the Monoculture of Deceased Inhabitants vinyl.
And that makes how many copies of that in your collection of that particular album?
20.
Ooh.
I now have 20, and even 20.
Can we identify the spine from back here on your shelf? I mean the row of them on your shelf. Can you see them?
Right there.
Jesus Christ, Jeff.
20 copies. Now 21. But yeah, I got that guy rolling around on the hardwood floor.
Record Store Day exclusive.
Cut that out. I'm fucking cutting that shit out. But yeah, 20 copies now, and even 20 of the Anthropocene Extinction. And that pressing looks cool and everything, but I want to see the way that this looks in person, the way that Monolith looks in person, just because it was like a light color. It almost looked like the same kind of the same pressing as Death Atlas, the European pressing of Death Atlas, but it is a little different. So I want to see what this one looks like. Almost lost it.
Ooh.
Whenever Cattle was on tour in Europe, just like a month or 2 ago, they did a limited run of pressings for these albums, and they were only available overseas. And Blast Beats Vinyl, and I forget where they're located out of. The first time I ever dealt with them was the first run of Cattle albums, and then these 2. But they're quick. I ordered these last week, and they showed up today.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
This is the Promise of Heaven vinyl.
Hold it up close.
And it is absolutely sick. I mean, that looks incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm speechless, man. That's incredible. That is a good looking vinyl.
It is an absolutely. I mean, it looks great in person, and I'm sure it's translating well over the video.
Well, why don't you send it to me so I can see it in person?
No. No, never, ever. But no, fuck you.
Hold on. Did Blast Beats? They also put out that Death Atlas one, right? Because
they did.
I've seen that, and I think in the group chat that we're in with Travis and a couple other fellows that Scott and Dylan, we talk about. I can't remember, like all these records are getting posted, and I'm like all tied up in all this other stuff, but yeah, that looks cool, man.
Download code.
All those Metal Blades come with those download cards now. Are you giving away a download on that?
Oh yeah, download. Because I mean, dude, I have it. I mean, if anybody wants a free
download, if you're listening to or watching this episode,
free download of this album, there you go.
Hold on. Let me zoom in.
Take a screenshot. I don't know if you FQKW-E36A. metalblade.bandcamp.com/yum. If you would like a free copy of Monolith of Inhumanity, there you go. Just for you, because you're the best fans ever watching our show.
Yeah.
And it came with a poster. Look, it came with a apparently a pretty good size poster. Jesus Christ, this thing is huge. Look at that fucking thing.
Bigger than you, Jeff.
Yeah, it is a little taller than me. Shit ain't
That's
funny,
bullshit.
dude. That's a cool looking poster, man.
Yeah.
Pretty rad.
Doesn't I feel like that? I feel like a couple of them have that.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of the represses have posters, but it was just like they were just like 2 panel things. Like you just open it up and there it was. You know, it wasn't a 4 foot.
I'm guilty of selling Travis a Carcass record without the poster, and he hit me. I was like, seriously, dude, no poster. And I saved it and I brought it to him on when they did a Summer Slaughter, and it tragically he on the very last show of the tour he jumped into the merch table and crashed into it and just crumbled up the poster. It was like in a box or something, and like he came and told me that story, and I just shook my head. And he's like, "This never would have happened if you just given me the poster first."
Never would have happened. His drunken debauchery is your fucking fault, Nick.
That was one of the funniest things he's ever said to me. I think about that all the time. I'm like, he's very right about that, but at the same time, meh.
Yeah, you're the one that got drunk and crashed into the table, dude. I remember that. I remember whenever that happened.
He missed out on the. I don't know. He's probably on tour or something. But like, I bought 2 different pressings, and I sold him one of the ones that I had. But I just, for some reason, I held on to the poster. I don't know why, and I surprised I found it. But yeah, a lot of albums come with posters, and I just that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I think I have quite a few Cattle records that like I'm like, what's in here? And I'm like, oh my god, it's like unfolds of some giant.
Right.
I mean, I wish Death Atlas came eventually with that.
The band photo.
No, the one the giant geocide map.
Oh yeah,
And that was like with the pre-orders that I think David Hall made that.
David Hall made that, yeah.
But yeah. But anyways, before we get into some giant rant, thank you everybody. This is a quick and short and special bonus Record Store Day episode, and very happy I was with what I got. Jeff, are you happy with what you found today?
Oh goddamn, dude! Yeah, it was a great day for vinyl. Great, absolute great day. Like I said, the South Park was a necessity, and then finding that OG Beastie Boys, like, solid.
Definitely, I've been up since 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is now 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, I need to get some more coffee in me before if I'm going to try to stay up for the rest of this day. But thank you everybody for watching. This was a fun one. This was like the first time I actually got up early for a Record Store Day. So
that's the first time I've slept in. It's pretty nice. And now I get to start a 15-hour drive to Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania to see those guys, Pig Destroyer. Yeah, driving 15 hours to go see the latest Pig Destroyer show. So getting ready to hit the road.
Thank you everybody for tuning into this bonus episode. We'll catch up with you all soon.
Hell yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.